Hey everyone, this is David Ellis, and I'm here with Amy Kruzik, and today we're going to be talking generally about your health and your wellness, and that means body, mind, and spirit. And today, what we're going to be doing is just doing a general overview of an interview series that we have lined up for you guys, so that those of you who are interested in more topics dealing with wellness will be a little bit more informed, and we're going to be dispelling a lot of misinformation that you will find on the web. Now, Amy is a trained counselor, and I do a variety of stuff, so we're going to be just going back and forth for the next 20 minutes as our first little interview, and we're going to talk about your health. So, Amy,
Yeah. Oh,
tell me about your health.
tell me about my health. I'm not sure how to answer. What would you like to know about my health? Would you
Okay.
like to know all my ailments? Is that what we're doing?
No, we're not doing your ailments generally, Amy. So, tell us a little bit about why you decided to become a counselor.
Oh, that. Well, I think it's an innate thing for me. I think I've always been a counselor, probably since I was a little girl.
Hello, everyone. This is David Ellis, and I'm here with Amy Kruzik from Pink Moon Lodge. And today we're going to be talking about anything regarding health. And so this is part of our interview series, the Integrative Healing Network, that we have decided to put together for those of you who are more interested in matters dealing with wellness and health, and that means the mind, the body, the spirit. And we're going to be dispelling some misinformation that is on the net, and we're going to be examining all the myths and misconceptions so that we can clarify a number of things for you. We'll be bringing in experts who could tell you what the available science is, and we'll be bringing in pretty much experts in their field of healing. This is not going to be along the lines of conventional medicine alone. We're going to be dealing with alternative medicine. All too often, we have a situation where there's the alternative side or the conventional side, and we would like to dispel all that nonsense. So, our first question, Amy.
Yeah, let me start with you. I love how you said Pink Moon Lodge, because I do miss that Facebook page that we're going to start up again. But it is Universal Citizen Media.
Yes.
UCM, you started that. But here, you know what's happening? I want to know what you've been doing, because I've been the administrator over there for the past, 4 months. and so you've been hard to get a hold of. How about that?
I've been studying, actually, Amy. I've been studying.
I know. So tell everybody, please, what you have been studying. We'd like to know.
Well, the thing about it is that I think health and healing is a continuous upgrade thing. And so even if you did just Reiki or whatever, you should continue your learning. So I continued my learning into the more lighter versions of healthcare. I did medical aesthetics, and I did, well, I suppose DNA testing, sequencing, and I did the certification in DNA testing and sequencing and stuff like that. So that's basically what I am doing, and it is being offered right now at my clinic downtown in Regina, where I live. So there's that. I'm also studying right now, again, just so that we're clear,
Oh, no.
and that is mineral composite analysis. So that's basically what it is that I have been up to. And so the reason why we started this little podcast is because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and we would like to actually, dispel some of it and assist some of y'all, because a lot of people are struggling right now where health is concerned, whether it be mental health or spiritual health or basically physical health. But speaking about mental health, Amy, you are a qualified counselor. Tell me.
I am. I almost didn't make it through through the class, but I did it. I did it, guys. I did it. Um, and so yeah, that was a really great class that David teaches, and that is over at the UCM community as well. I don't know when he's going to start that back up again, but I would highly suggest that you get certified in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a useful thing for people to know the signs of mental health distress and
Mm-hmm.
how to deal with it and the various techniques that are out there. But let's start with the body first.
Yeah.
The reason why I did the DNA certification was because I think a lot of people wait until they get sick. A lot of people live their lives just guessing,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
guessing what's good for them, guessing what they should do, what they should eat, and so on. And so health has become a kind of trial and error thing. I'm going to eat pizza today, and if it doesn't go well with my system, I might not eat it tomorrow, right? As opposed to knowing beforehand, and that's why I did the DNA sequencing, because what the results of that test shows is what you are predisposed to, so you can avoid turning on certain genetic anomalies in your system that will absolutely ruin your health. Okay, so a lot of people don't realize that they're just simply allergic to certain things. Okay, and I think a lot of people tend to, as I said, they go through life guessing. Okay, we know that alcohol is a major cause of cancer, as an example, and for certain people, it's a lot more. How should I say? It's a lot more lethal than for other people. So this is the kind of stuff that I wanted to do, and I wanted to bring to the people and my clients and so on. And this is basically how that works.
How do you go about getting, is it a kit? Can you
Well,
describe?
it's a kit, and you do a cheek swab. And what I do is I send it to a lab. Now, the thing about it is that not all labs are created equal. So if you are thinking about doing this, I would suggest, well, obviously you come to me first of all. But if you're thinking about doing this, I would suggest you get a lab that is CLIA certified, right? And is also like a lab that adheres to best practices. And so what happens is that we take a cheek swab, which is basically a swab inside the mouth, all right? And we send it to the lab, and the lab sequences it for diet, fitness, SNPs, and health. So what is a SNP? It's a genetic marker, okay? And so what happens in the sequencing process is that it pretty much shows up the things that are, well, either diet, health, and fitness concerns. So as an example, and this is not far-fetched at all, it's like there are certain kinds of exercise that your body will respond to, and there's certain kinds of exercises that it just won't respond to. So as an example, there are some people that are genetically predisposed to endurance exercise, and some of them are predisposed to a resistance exercise, but they don't know that. So you just go do what your friends do, right? And then you
Mhm.
realize why you're not you realize that I'm not getting the same results, and then you become discouraged, and it's because you're not genetically predisposed to that. Yeah.
That is so true.
Hmm.
So true.
Yeah.
I
And
think,
go ahead.
well, no, I was just thinking, it's so funny because I think your body always tells you that. Like this, I'm not a runner. Okay. I was never a runner.
Yeah, but Amy, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? People don't know how to listen to their bodies, which
Yeah,
is
that's
where
true.
the spiritual
Yeah.
part comes in and the mental connection part comes in. So if you like a lot of people don't listen to their bodies. They just figure, I'll just
Yeah.
keep the stiff upper lip and just keep going. And that is not advised. What is advised is that you probably get a DNA test. It will tell you a lot about yourself because DNA doesn't change, right? There's the epigenetic factor as well, the things that we do to influence the way our genetic markers turn on and turn off, right? But that's a
Mm.
different kettle of fish. But if you get an idea of where you are, then it shortens the amount of experimentation that you have to do to get to where you want to be. Does that make sense?
Well, that totally makes sense. Can I use myself as a little scenario?
Sure.
As part of, only because this always, okay, so I am type 1 diabetic, right?
Hmm.
Which means I take insulin every day. Every time I eat, I have to keep track of everything. But something turned off in my body at the time when this happened in early 20s, which usually doesn't happen unless you're this is what the medical field says.
Hmm.
13.
Hmm.
13. Well, no, mine happened at 21, which was odd, they said. So something turned off, didn't it?
Correct. So here's the thing. There's epigenetics where your fate is not sealed when it comes to genetics, okay? It becomes sealed when, out of ignorance and not knowing what you are supposed to be doing, you do something inventive, okay?
Mm.
And you can turn on a certain genetic marker, a certain predisposition in yourself, completely oblivious to the fact that it's going to have certain kinds of consequences. Having said that, you could also turn them off as well, okay? So I'm going to keep this non-technical,
Yeah.
okay? So you have a certain set of genetic information that you came in with. Some of the genetic information may say, oh, alcohol is bad, don't take it, right? For original peoples, that is always the case. So I say original peoples like indigenous people, which is why you don't give like American Indians alcohol. It's a bad idea. The
Hmm.
same in the Caribbean. You don't give Carib Indians alcohol. You don't give original peoples alcohol. It tends not to go well and end well for their mental health. Okay?
Hmm.
So as an example, if you if they take alcohol as an example, it affects their mental health. Now that's not me making a supposition. We know this by trial and error over hundreds of years of trying to toxify certain kinds of people, right? For most people, most of the population, smoking is bad, but then you have that anomaly of an individual who will smoke up until 99 years old, from 30
Yeah.
to 90 years, and that man will keep on going.
Yeah, my grandfather.
Correct. So,
Yes.
what is happening? Why is this man so lucky? I mean, he smokes like a chimney, but he seems to be surviving. And these are the questions. When you see these anomalies, they have genetic resistances to certain kind of illnesses, right? So I wouldn't want to do a cheek swab on somebody who smoked for 50 years. I mean, like, no, I mean, like, keep that
No.
close, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. It's a matter of whether or not you guys are genetically predisposed to certain things. You could turn them on, but it helps to know where you are at. And so, um, get a DNA test. They're now very affordable, and I do that in my clinic. Make sure you get it from somebody who's reputable and so on. I will also be offering hair tissue mineral analysis as well, and that's another whole kettle of fish, because the DNA will tell you what you're predisposed to, but HTMA, hair tissue mineral analysis, will tell you where you are presently for sure. Okay, and it's a lot of the conventional medicine model tried to discredit it, but it's actually a very, very good way of letting people know what their deficiencies are that could be affecting their health long term and short term.
I love this so much.
Mhm.
I do.
Yep. So we're living in 2024. So
Yeah.
the period of guessing whether this is good for me or not good for me, that should have been gone like ever since.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is basically what I have been doing and what I am offering right now in my clinic, and basically to everybody out there right now. I would suggest that everybody in the world get tested, because here's the thing: you don't want to be turning on something that is going to eventually kill you years down the line
Mm.
in complete innocence. You think you're doing
Yeah.
something good, and it might not be the case. Okay, The thing about it is that health is, I think people become overwhelmed when it is that they deal with health because there's so many little factors that predetermine these things. And what we want to do is make it simple for people, right? So, as an example, they say we have a diet that we can follow. Not all diets are for all people. There is no fingerprint. Everybody's a fingerprint, but there is no one size fit all diet for all
Mhm.
people, right? So,
No,
what diet is going to work for one person and that is not going to work for another person.
no, definitely agree on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these
So,
are, tell me, go ahead, Amy.
no, I was just thinking, so this kind of is preventative medicine.
Correct. It is the original preventative medicine.
Yeah.
Know what you are, where you are, and have an idea of where you want to be. And I'm assuming you don't want to be in a situation with a reduced lifespan and a lowered quality of life because of health issues. Okay?
Okay, so let's say, oh, David, I want to take the DNA test
hmm
and the HTMA test.
hmm
So tell me, once I do the swab, you get the results and I get the results, or are you going to
Correct.
go over them with me?
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
We do two things. You could get the results, but that's a very long,
Mhm.
each one of these tests, because you could get a total test or you could get a DNA test just for diet, just for health, or just for fitness, depending on what you want to do. All right. Or you could get the total fitness test. We don't want people overwhelmed. So we try to make it very readable for people. However, you might want to go to somebody like me who has a background in nutrition that can give you a shortcut as to how to pass out your treatment plan for yourself, because healthcare is not cheap. Okay, so getting sick is an expensive thing, which is why people try to eat properly, but they don't know. Okay, because they don't want to go to school for the next like 4 years, unfortunately, because they're not as idle as I am. They don't want to go to school for the next 4 years just to understand how to maintain their health. And so what is advised is that you get the test, you will get the results, I will get the results. You can book an appointment with me and we can go over the results and go through this is how we're going forward kind of plan.
Mm-hmm.
And this will allow you to actually chart a path forward based on what you know will work, not on what you're guessing will work.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's some people out there that think, I feel fine, but they may have a pain somewhere that kind of they just live with it, correct?
Okay,
And
so
they,
let me give you a few statistics. Okay,
yeah.
98% of the population, everybody that you see around you, are deficient in magnesium, as an example. Yeah, you will feel fine until you're not. Okay? That is a statement of fact.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go to the doctor and they get a blood test, as an example, and it shows that their magnesium levels are fine, what they don't understand is that the blood is homeostatic. Homeostatic means that your body tries to maintain proper levels of nutrients in your blood. So it's not a good indicator, as an example, of whether you're deficient in a particular mineral. Yeah, little known fact.
Can I just ask you something? Is it because there is a sliding scale that they gave you, like, oh, you're within range and you could be on the low end? And it's like, yeah, but I want it to be in the middle. Do I need more
So
vitamin D now?
a lot of
Yeah.
people go get blood tests, and
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that blood is homeostatic. So it's going to show adequate, unless something is really, really wrong with you,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to show adequate levels inside the blood because the blood is a transport system. Okay. So your body will protect the blood. So, as an example, if you are low on magnesium or even calcium, the body will take calcium out of your bones, drop it into the blood to raise the levels in the blood. Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this kind of cannibalistic protocol that your body does shows up when you take a blood test as, oh, everything is fine.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
why
fine.
that's why you take calcium and magnesium together.
Correct. Because there's a ratio that they're supposed to be in. And a lot of people are actually walking around with deficiencies that they don't even know because they feel fine until, of course, something happens, right? And this is why a DNA test and a HTMA is important because you might be on a road to a major health crisis and you don't know, blindly walking through life. And so I'm going to tell you that I absolutely monitor my DNA. I've done mine, right? So I know what I'm predisposed to. I know what I really should not be eating. And I know the things that are an issue for me. So as an example, I found out I was magnesium deficient. Surprise, surprise. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because here's a little known fact. If you are stressed a lot of the time, your magnesium is going to drop dramatically.
Ah, good point. And can I just give this little thing that I just heard today? I had to get some blood work done. I heard the woman talking, the phlebotomist, and she said it was in the afternoon. I did it yesterday too. I did 2 times. Anyways, I heard her say, "Oh, you're coming for an iron test? It's in the afternoon." She goes, "It would be best if you come in the morning to do this because it's going to show that you're going to be low." Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
So taking the blood work, even the time of day. Can you explain that?
The time of day, how stressed you are, right? It does affect the minerals in your body. It absolutely does. So you got to be very careful, okay? A lot of people make dietary changes which worsen things that happen to them, okay? They think that they're doing it in good faith and they're not, okay? So honestly, it's like when somebody tells you your sodium is low and then you decide to go and eat a bunch of salty foods. That is not advised. I don't understand why it is a lot of people who get these tests and the people who work in those labs don't explain to people that sodium is not salt, as an example.
Yeah.
There is sodium in salt, but sodium is not salt. And so, wow. So these are the kinds of things that are like people think sodium. Oh, I'm just going to get the little tea things and like shake it.
Yes.
No, that is not how that works. So, guys, my suggestion is that as soon as possible, you get the test for sodium salt. And the DNA analysis and the hair tissue mineral analysis as well, okay? It will tell you a lot about where you are presently and the markers and the predispositions that you have.
Yeah. And I think that we may end up doing a call-in show because, David, people are probably have a lot of questions like, oh my gosh, people might want to call in and ask questions. So let's put them in the comments below, right? And see if you would like us to do a call-in show and have questions. Because that's important, these little things.
Correct.
Yeah. So anyways, that's just a thought.
No, that's actually a good thought. Yeah, guys, we really enjoy speaking about these topics, and I'm sure even in this little broadcast, it's more like a promo that we did. You guys have probably learned a thing or two with regard to what we're doing, and we're going to be doing an entire series on this stuff. So, guys, we'll see you in the future. Amy, you want to tell these people how to get a hold of you?
Yes, you can get a hold of me email at pinkmoonlodgepodcast@gmail.com, or you can sign up for the UCM community at communityuniversalcitizentv.com. See you there, guys.
All right.